Free with Vynn. Take it away.
Hi, my name is Vynn, and welcome to Faith the Unholy Trinity, where we will be playing Faith Chapter 3. So we're going to be playing this in turbo mode. We are also going to be turning that off as well. So I'm going to get into it when we get into it. So we're going to go from 3, 2, 1, go. And that will be beginning the time. So Turbo 2, naturally it is automatically, for anyone who is actually paying attention, just at the little bottom of the screen. Warning jank. That is probably that is the truest thing we can say possible. We will be continuing our journey with John here, who is going to be returning in a memory because, John is, his usual color, then so is Father Oliver, who's beside him. John is on it's his first day on the job, essentially, like Kennedy. In Resident Evil 4, we're just on our first exorcism. We're going to the Martin House residence, and it's kind of doing a rehash of the past sort of thing right now. So it's also going to be kind of quiet as well, because everything is going to be kind of it's a massive, just a memory. You're not going to be remembering things exactly after some time. Things are going to be hazy, so we're going to be working with what we have regarding that. But we're essentially getting a reintroduction to the game as well. And one of the best things is when we come out of this. So Faith is usually kind of on the slower side in terms of movement. With Turbo 2, because it can go up to Turbo 4, which is just pure chaos. This one, however, is kind of a healthy dose of chaos, I suppose, for lack of a better term there. But we're able to kind of move a little bit swifter. Also, keep in mind the person with the glasses there, because they might be popping up a little bit later on the game. So naturally this is just rehashing of the past. We're wondering what the heck is going on here. Unfortunately, Amy did have to be just kind of positioned in the basement in a chair for us to arrive and kind of try and take out the demonic possession that has taken hold of her. And you'll see all these kind of visuals that are going by a lot quicker than normal because of turbo mode, but it is still going to be pretty cool all the same. So 3 days until the profane Sabbath. Think of it like, the dawn before the final day sort of scenario from Zelda. We're going to be working with that pretty much, but we have 3 days to kind of work on things. So this one is a little more open. In this one, we're able to kind of use our car to drive to and fro. And you know what? The police are here. I don't really feel like doing my job here. I think he's got it covered, so I'm going to go back home. And in the meantime, we're also going to be seeing these little scenes as well. So basically, you're just going to be getting them because it's like, hey, you didn't do the area really, did you? So how about maybe next time you kind of do that? Here's a hint. So we're kind of going back into the nightmare sequence or the memory sequence, I suppose, really. And we're going to be picking up our utensils here to try and drive away the demons, so to speak. And usually we do have crux tech in this game a little bit more. You're not going to see so much of it just yet. We'll be seeing that a little bit more later. And crux tech involves essentially because in the previous games there were different ways of doing it. But in this one it is simply pause, unpause while holding down the spacebar, which is your weapon, and that is your trusty crux. It's the only weapon that we have. And when we lose it, we lose it. And when we get it back, we get it back. But that's for another day, huh? We're just going to we're going to quickly take the crux back from Father Oliver because unfortunately he is now unconscious, but we wake up. And what's kind of nice to know, I suppose, lore-wise, is that everyone involved with this case is waking up after having the same bad dreams, the exact same nightmares. So these ones that are not really, everyone's just kind of wondering what the heck is going on. We're not going to check our mail either. Also, on a casual run, I suppose, if you're leaving the house, you can check on your neighbors. You can be a total bit of a creep, look through their windows, see if they're doing okay. And, the apartment block, to me, it's looking pretty fine. I'm not going to mind too much. It looks okay to me. We're getting a little pop-up again saying that, you really should have checked here, but it doesn't matter. So we're going back now to our nice little screen here. And we're going to be having a little moment of time where there's going to be this weird smiling individual hiding in and out of places, like in the bottom left there. It's completely random where she shows up, but also if you have any donations, now will be a wonderful time.
I do indeed. I have a $5 donation for you from Osmorn, who says, as my favorite horror speedrunner, it's so amazing to see Vynn here at Frost. I've seen her speedruns dozens of times, and she continues to amaze me without fail. You're an incredibly talented person, Vynn, and I'm so happy for you and can't wait to see what you do next. Good luck, and don't forget to be amazing. From your friend Oz.
Well, thank you, Osborne. And thank you for the $5 donation, because Malelephant is actually pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. And hey, you know, essentially we're just gonna be doing this last little part here. So we've been kind of driving away for the entirety, kind of just running away from problems. They're not really our problems, so, you know, screw it. We don't have to worry about it at all. So the police are actually here on the scene for this one as well, but we are going to go inside. We are going to actually investigate this one. This one looks kind of serious. Don't worry about it. We have John on the case, and we're going to be using a little bit of crooks tech here, so it's the simplest thing in the world. Actually, that's probably not the best place to put it, but there, and then pause, unpause, and we're going to be doing this. It's a little puzzle, so you go around a little area, you look at drawings here and there, and it's just like, hey, these ones are color coordinated with, you know, shapes. You might as well put it on the floor just by using our crooks. And this is where we're kind of getting into cult territory. Like, you know, you can't have many horror games without a cult. But also, we're going to have a little look at our favorite painting here. And you get a little note that just says, look into the eyes of my mother. We don't really have much else to do. We don't really have much else going on, so we're just going to look. So quickly, if you do have any other donations, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, of course I do. Here's $20 for you from Bookworm42, who says, quack! That was a very loud quack. Thank you so much, Bookworm, for the quack. And reminder, please, quacks. We're getting real close to quacks. I want more quacking.
Definitely. And the quacks are kind of, they're kind of on cue there as well, because just with the whole thing that's going on, the cult do worship a bird-like demon, so hey, extra quacks involved.
Who's the bird quack?
They do a little more than that, but, you know, however. I'm just going to go ahead and quickly do this so that we can get that on track. And we're going to stay off-center here so we can go immediately over to this side, because Gary just appears from nowhere. But wherever you are on the map, he will appear on the opposing side entirely, so that you're able to just run into him there. And so this is going to be a neat little visual section. Just a warning, if you don't really like disturbing imagery, probably look away for maybe 2 minutes max, but also if you want to fit in another donation, that'd be cool too.
Sure thing. Got $5 from FM2, who says, love seeing these newer games. Thanks to all the runners and staff for making this event great.
Nice, and another if you have one.
Surely. I have $25 from Barbara, who did not leave a message, but still appreciate the generosity.
We have time for one more if you'd like that.
Oh my goodness. You're spoiling me. Oh, we have $15 from Lash, who says, good luck with your run. Thanks. Thanks for wishing luck.
Thank you. So yeah, that's basically the scene that we get kind of... we turn off needle mode that is at the very beginning, but also can you get the lights first, Amy? Cool, thanks. There's needle mode that's in the first section before you kind of start your game. We're able to turn that off to save a couple of seconds, which is really, really handy just in terms of things. And furthermore, then we're going to be taking off from this section here. So this guy wants a couple of little artifacts before he lets us pass by. So we're going to do our best to do that as quickly as possible. There's a lot of bird-like plagas in this area, so we want to be really, really careful of them. And a bird on the wall there who is very ominously telling us, you know, you better be careful. And essentially there's Latin here that comes up essentially stating what you are, we once were, what we are, you will become. And you don't want to get too close to the plagas because they tend to do that. I chanced my arm there and I'm very glad to have not gotten it chopped off. So I'm gonna go quickly up here because there is a bit of a wrestler mask that I want up here as well. And there's gonna be like a person in the mirror. If you stay close to the mirror and turn around, you're gonna be able to hit them 100% each and every time. So there we got our wrestler mask for the statue at the front. It's not a wrestler mask, but it's, you know, it kind of looks like it in my opinion. And so you can do this whichever way you want. This is just the way that I do. I go left, top, and then right. But you can go whichever way you want. And it is arguably probably yeah, we have green light, red light here. And on turbo mode, it's a heck of a thing. I'm gonna put it that way. And I'm gonna try and time this quickly. But if you have any donations, that would be great.
I surely do. I have $25 here from Pesh, who says, "Why do they call it frames when you kill in the Cancer Germany? Save out the long time runners." Thank you. Reminder to everybody donating. Reminder to everybody donating to be sure to click on incentives when you donate so that we can get those quacks in.
Wow.
It's one little button and a world quack.
Fantastic. This one's a little bit abrupt because they say red light, green light as they're turning, which is spot on when you're trying to do turbo mode. So that was nice, and you want to kind of line up your character there and try not to get eaten. Wow, thank you. This is cursed. However, so when you're trying to come out there, there's like a second pixel from the top there in the diamond. You kind of want to line up John with that so that you're able to come, Madame, please. So usually you're just able to scoot on by both the thralls and then you're able to carry on about your merry business, and it's absolutely wonderful, but sometimes they like to be a little bit more difficult. So I'm going to take this very, very nicely here. Because the thralls are all pretty much involved with the bird demons and whatnot, and it's very, very cool if you just go ahead and turn around and stay that way. Thank you. Because we also have to be careful with this individual over here, and as soon as we get that one, we can scoot on by. So go here. They actually double teamed me. Wow, why would you do that? If you have another donation, that'd be great. Apologies for this.
No worries. I have $25 here for you from Zokaboon, who says, "It's been fantastic watching Vynn knock down times in Faith and other horror games. Always happy to see you on the Fatale stage. Good luck and Mortis."
We've had a couple of mortises here, but don't worry. Everything will be a-okay because, A, we did it. And it's usually a consistent strat, but there's always a one odd occasion, typically happening during a marathon where it just doesn't work. But nevertheless, we got what we needed to go in here, and so here's your little wrestling mask so that I can go downstairs. Usually it's like, you know, we're pleased with your sacrifice when you give your stuff in, but, you know, not this time because we are doing it on a very, very, very quick run. On turbo mode, it typically doesn't happen, but nevertheless. So we're going to go deeper and deeper into the bells here of the underbelly, I suppose. And it's going to get darker and darker as we're going on in. And essentially, we're going to be coming up to the bird section, which I like to call it that because that's all that there is. It's nothing but birds. Birds screaming at you. And they have an interesting pretty neat visual, actually, but also jump scares ahead. Just saying. They should be fine, though. They're not too loud. But it does have birds, and the birds are kind of angry with us. They don't really like our presence here whatsoever. You can see their acolytes over there as well, in behind the railings. And so it's getting a little bit angry, even more so. But there's a nice little skip that you can do here, and I'm coming up to it. This one. And it involves kind of going around this birdie here. So their heads are kind of on backwards, as you can see. And, you know, it's a nice little touch to the visual, I suppose. A nice little creepy factor. So in this forest, we're kind of having to go around in the complete darkness. We have only the light around us to guide us. And there's 3 little effigies that we do have to use our crooks on in order to move. I'm using crooks tech here as well. And just kind of going on this path where you go, essentially, I suppose, 2 screens to the left. And then back to the spawn point, and we go over to the right. We get another effigy. And then we kind of follow the path upwards. And it's a nice little way of kind of navigating this area, because the first time you play, it's probably not going to be too pleasant. I'm not going to lie. But once you kind of get your grip on where you do need to go, it's pretty alright. One thing on turbo mode as well is that the birds can get very extra angry and extra aggro here, so you kind of want to keep Crux tech up just to kind of keep them away from you, and then we just go over here. See, like that? They appear out of absolutely nowhere. So we're going to be going up through these people here. Like, they have this wall barricaded us in. And this gentleman called Gary is going to be asking us how do we make a portal to hell, and then he just outright tells us that there's no riddle to it at all. The riddle is a ruse. But we have some kind of neat looking visuals here, and we're going to have a little chat with Gary real quick. So again, if you have any donations, that'd be pretty neat, because there's also going to be a bit of a cutscene then as well, and then we're going to kind of go into our first real boss fight.
Surely. I have $10 here from Luciano Del Monaco, who did not leave a comment for us today, but regardless, appreciated. Appreciate everyone's generosity, and also a reminder that we are now at just over $900 away from quacking. I believe in your quacks, chat. Do you believe in your quacks? Because that run will be coming up next, and I would love to get to hear some quacks.
Yeah, because we're also coming up to that fairly quick as well. So the one boss that we have coming up very, very soon is the only boss really in the entirety of the game. But also, in regards to the upcoming section, there is a nice little chat. We get to ask Gary 3 questions. He's very kind in that regard. But we do have a little bit of a system on what questions to ask, because simply they're quicker, and I kind of noticed that when playing this first time around. If you go with options 1, 2, and then 1, it generally goes quicker for you. But because we're also on turbo mode, it doesn't really matter. The seconds, are going to be kind of not really noticed that much, so it's completely chill. But yeah, there's the glasses as well. He's got some swag. But I have my theories because of the glasses, but nevertheless, also something nice to actually look around on the imagery of Gary as well. He has 4 hands. That or a wing. And I think that's pretty neat, because it's very bird-like as well, and, really emphasizes what the cult is kind of centering around. A demon called Malphus, as well as Astaroth, actually, which I didn't expect the first time around, but there's also imagery in general, it's, for scare factors. And I enjoy them wholeheartedly, but I'm still curious about those glasses more so. I'm just going to say that. And this is where the boss fight actually begins. So a lot of people do have trouble with them. What I'm going to say is stick to the top left or the top right corner. Not really the top right, but just this area in general. This area here is where you want to stick to, because then we're able to kind of get him more so contained compared to when he gets really out of whack. And here's the rain of spiders. We just have a rain of spiders. And we have a deer. We also have to get our crooks really quick. So typically it's quicker just to drop your crooks and kind of bring it back and just hit him, because he gets stunned so much. But also you kind of want to be careful of those guys coming in. Some people like to kind of go in and just take the hit and just tank it all entirely. And then otherwise you can just go ahead and just not take the hit and just go with it. You go with the flow. But I'm just going to tank the hits, because it makes it way, way quicker. So we have Father Garcia here kind of coming in clutch for us. And so in the next screen, essentially, I'm also going to just do a quick thing, because you can just go and use your crux on an item that we need to while a cutscene is happening. So I'm going to do this, go up there, and because the box is now glowing, we're actively using crux on this, which we have to anyway, but we won't have to fight anything. The fight's going to be over before we begin. So we're coming up pretty close to the end here, so what I'm going to do is just give my thanks to the Faith community. Everyone who's running it, you're all fantastic. I love this game quite immensely. Everyone who's just kind of enjoying the game as well. Erdorf, naturally, New Blood Interactive, who's been very nice putting this on Steam and whatnot, and just creating it in general. Thank you as well very much for watching. I deeply do appreciate it. Time will be when we see the title card saying what ending that we have, and it states ending 1. So when you first see that, it's over then. But also just in general, thank you very much. Hopefully gonna say, good luck to everyone else in the run, for the entirety of the marathon, everyone who's tuning in. Hope that you have a wonderful time. And last but not least, remember, Gary loves you. I just love that scene, that's all. But yeah, because this is way quicker, it's gonna be carrying on way sooner, so I'll give up like a time. Essentially, when you're seeing the car kind of drift off into the left-hand side there, you get ready for time at that point. We just have a few credits here, but I suppose I have some extra time now to just quickly say, if you're interested in this sort of thing, want to see more, you can catch me over on twitch.tv/Vynn. That's completely chill. Otherwise, there's a lot of other runners as well of this game in the community. If you go onto speedrun.com, type in Faith, you'll be able to see the entirety of the Trinity, the Unholy Trinity. Select whatever game you want if you're interested in it, and we'd be delighted to help you in getting into the game. But yeah, with that having been said, that is me closing out time, and I will see you next time. Bye.
Thank you so much for your incredible run, Vynn. That game sure has a powerful art style. I'm a little bit spooked, but I'm also a little bit spooked by this closing time on not having enough quacks in my life. But you know what can help with that? Donations! Like this $25 donation from Ebert. Thank you so much, Ebert, who says, Vynn is hilarious and so great. Let's go, Frost Fatales. Thank you so much. And we will be having a quick break now, but don't go anywhere because there will be quacking to ensue. Welcome back, everyone, to Frost Fatales 2023. I'm PippyInATopHat, and I am your maven of quacks today, or at least I hope to be, because we are moving into our QT run, and if you want to hear some quacking on the final level, you don't have much time, so please get those donations in. Donations like this $25 anonymous donation. Didn't leave a comment, but did leave $25, and we appreciate the generosity. We have a quick message for you, so don't go anywhere. QT, and I believe the Q in QT stands for quack, will be right there. And welcome back once again. We are just getting set up for our QT run, and oh my goodness, it looks like adorable chaos. But first, $25 in from Pitman Lionhouse 08071. That was a trip of a name. And they would like to say good luck with the spooky block, less than 3. Did the cute animals get spooky? I don't know. I have no information. You know who has information? Pakal has information and is ready for us right now. So take it away, Pakal and QT.